Welcome to Days Behind, where we unveil the trivia and stories behind holidays and national days. Why does France celebrate the fall of a prison that held only 7 prisoners? When you picture Paris today, on July 14th, you see something amazing. You see the big military parade on the Champs-Élysées. You see our beloved flag waving from every window. A day of joy, pride, fierté. You see the sky light up with 1,000 colors. Fireworks around the Eiffel Tower. But to understand why we celebrate, we need to go back in time. Before we move on, I'd also like to invite you to check another video of ours about Paris Eiffel Tower, as well as the soul of true France. Please see the link on top for it. To really understand that day, you need to understand what France was like in 1789. A kingdom in a very, very bad situation. The crops hadn't grown well. The price of bread had gone up to impossible levels. People were hungry. Parents couldn't feed their kids. The government was deep in debt, but taxes were mostly paid by those who had the least. Society was split into the 3 estates. The first, church leaders. The second, rich nobles, paying almost no taxes. Then there was the third estate. Everyone else, shopkeepers, lawyers, craftspeople, farmers, and poor workers in the cities, almost everyone in France. Now they were starting to demand change, fair rules, and a say in how the country was run. The king, Louis XVI, ruled with absolute power. His word was the law. He could have people arrested without a trial, using a lettre de cachet. Soldiers gathered around Paris. People feared their hopes would be crushed. You could feel that fear in the streets. And there, in the middle of this scared city, stood the Bastille. Not just a building, but the biggest symbol of the king's power to silence dissent. On the morning of July 14th, 1789, the tension finally broke. A big crowd of regular Parisians marched. They weren't soldiers, they were shopkeepers, craftspeople, and workers. First and foremost, they wanted weapons. They had heard the Bastille held gunpowder and guns. As they arrived, the crowd grew to thousands, a sea of angry, determined faces. They called for the governor, the Marquis de Launay, to give up the gunpowder. He said no. Talks got tense, shots were fired. Anger exploded into a furious attack. After hours of bloody fighting, soldiers joined their side. At last, the drawbridge was lowered, and the people poured in. The fort had fallen. It was like watching a giant fall to its knees. The news spread through Paris, then across France and Europe. Inside were only 7 prisoners, 4 forgers, 2 so-called crazy people, and 1 rich detainee, a small detail. The message was larger. The king's power was not absolute. Then came demolition. Pierre-François Palouin led workers to tear it down, carving stones into Bastille models sent across France. While the attack on the Bastille was violent and messy, the story of July 14th doesn't end there. 1 year later came the Fête de la Fédération, a celebration of peace and national unity on the Champ de Mars. Rich nobles, priests, and regular folks worked side by side, shaping a people-built amphitheater, a symbol of a more equal society. King Louis XVI, now limited, stood before the people and swore to follow new laws, not long before he got finally executed. French hope filled the air. Today, the parades, the music, the fireworks, they celebrate the idea of the French Republic. This is what the revolution left behind, born from that one wild day. A day of violence reborn as a day of national pride.